So, we all have some idea regarding the happiness. What is happiness and how to find happiness? Let's find more aspects of happiness by our today's speaker, who will help us in decoding happiness. So, with this word, I want to introduce our today's speaker. Our, as you all know, our today's speaker is engineer Manish Devnath, who is scientist at land in the division of land and water management engineering, National Rice Research Institute, NRI, Cuttack, Odisha. He has completed his MTech from the Soil Science and Water Conservation Engineering discipline, IARI, New Delhi. Presently, he is in service PhD student at Soil and Water Conservation Engineering Department at IARI, New Delhi. Our speaker has a, uh, has a great achievement in his academic record also. He has ranked third in ARS examination. He got second rank in ICR NET and first rank in IRI PhD entrance examination. He also secured third rank in ICR JRF. Regarding his devotional life, he has been practicing mantra meditation from 2012, and he is a very great devotee. He has also completed the certified course of Bhagavad-Gita IDC. So, without wasting the time, I will welcome engineer Manish Devnath sir. Kindly, uh, kindly share your facts and ideas with us.
Thank you, Sanika ji. It's a very great day that we are assembled here, and wish you all a very good evening. All the participants from across India, from different universities, starting from agriculture. We also have some ITI students. So before I start, as it's a very important session, so I'll request all the participants, uh, if possible, if your internet is working, so you can be on screen. I can see you all, and we'll have a better interaction, right? So I'm just sharing the screen. Hopefully I am audible to every one of you. So this is a very specific session and very important session from Mantra of Life, Add Value to Life section. And first session, we are going to start with decoding happiness. This is a very important aspect in our life. Whatever we do in our practical days, maybe we are a student or maybe we are some job holders, but the ultimate aim for everyone is dedicated towards these to achieve happiness. And I am really very feeling good that you people have joined for this special program. So we'll try to see actually what does happiness means and how we can achieve this happiness, right? So to start with, many of us actually we think that if we get a very good job and we have we get a very handsome salary, we have a very good car or maybe a beautiful house, then we become happy. Now, if I ask the questions, those who are present here, that are these actually the source of permanent happiness? Yes, somebody may say that it's yes, and somebody may tell no. But let us see in our next PPTs, in our next slides to come, we'll just discuss about that. There are some people now, the recent trend is going on that not only some people want happiness from a good building or maybe cars, but some very costly cars, not BMWs. It has just crossed over this price range. Somebody are interested to get the golden car. So this is a trend recently started. And there are, there are some extraordinary people. I must say they are extraordinary because they try to find happiness in whatever means it is possible. They will just go for robbery and anyway, whatever way they can collect the money. And what for they are doing this, you can see on the screen actually. This is, you can see the screen. So what the thing is that to pass the very least important thing, people are trying to buy something very high costly things. This is nothing but a toilet, right? So just to pass a low cost and don't bother things. Yes, people are trying for this, and there are so many things. There recently there were news as well that many people they caught in bribery case and maybe other aspects just to buy this. They think that by doing so they will be
in long term. So these are the some studies. Am I audible? Can organizer, if somebody can just react. Am I audible? I'm audible. Hopefully, I think so. Yes. Okay. So we'll move towards our further slides and let us see. So, okay, it's a technical thing. So a little, maybe here and there, it will be there. But I request you to be focusing our topic, what actually we are going to express, right? So we were telling about some of the research studies, some of the highly, ranked journals where people have studied that whether by through having material gains, that means buying cars and maybe becoming so much rich, whether they can buy actually the happiness. There was one study in 1999, and those who are in the field of research work, everyone are in the field of research work. So you can find the citation, that is 1390, a highly recognized paper. And what they have found actually, it is very much, amazing to see. Their conclusion was that there is a need to discover what promote real happiness actually, although there was a large population size on which this experiment was done, and they have found that it is not that if somebody is very much rich, but it is not the thing that they will become happy by through their richness. Again, there was a second study. There is a second study So it's directly from some research journals. You can find out. It's there on screen. So another one, the research study was recently around on 2010, and it was cited by around 2953 other scientific people. So what studied in this particular paper, that high income improves evaluation of life, but not the emotional well-being. So they also concentrated upon that. If we get something good job or something like that, whether we are really very going to be happy in long terms. Again, their conclusion was like this, that high incomes, it can buy the life satisfaction, but it's not the happiness. So these are some of the scientific studies we have seen, that this cannot buy the real happiness. And let us once again see what actually the Alexander the Great, what he has to say actually, who conquered the whole world, who tried to defeat many kings over the world, and he had many material opulences. He got everything, high costly things. But what he has to say on his last days, actually, what is his realization? So while before going to deathbed, actually he was in deathbed, he actually had given three wishes to his very near and dear one. What he told, that he told the first wish is like this, that bury my body and do not build any monument. My physicians alone must carry my coffin. So he understood that I am not so much worthy to be remembered by the people, because I have, although I have many material achievements, but this, through these actually I could not give happiness to others. Even I didn't, even I myself did not got this real happiness. So that is why he asked, that his wish was that just bury my body and some few people will be there. I don't want to show the world that I was a great, really a great man. His second wish was that whatever actually I have collected, like gold, silver throughout the life, you just threw it on the way, directing towards my coffin. So it also indicates what he wanted to tell by this actually, that these things what I have actually hankered for, or what for actually I thought that by doing so I'll be happy, but this could not give a real happiness to me. And third wish he told, this is very interesting. So keep my hands outside to the graveyard, so that the world knows the person who won the world had nothing in his hands when he's dying. So that is very important, realization of such a great great person in the terms that he conquered and he defeated many people, but he could not derive the real happiness. And this is been given in from since past many years. This knowledge actually has been already given to some of the, some, we call it the manual of life. Actually, what I'm going to refer, it's called the manual of life. Most of you might be knowing about, it's called the Bhagavad-Gita. Somebody just wonder about, it's the spiritual thing, it's the spiritual book. Of course it's spiritual, but it's also a manual for life. Like for every instrument there is a manual, so for human being also there is a manual. And what this manual has to say actually, it says that what actually we hanker or we think in this world actually, or our surroundings, actually it's nothing but it's dukhalayam, means it's a place of miseries. And you can also I think every one of us, we witness this, that if we look after this weighing balance, we see that in life we get very little happiness, maybe for few days, but the distress is in between. If you are a student, so exam comes over, you need to prepare for some other competitive exam, so everywhere it seems that there is a distress or some kinds of pressure upon that, right? So that term, in terms of happiness, it is less, but the distress is very high, and it has already been mentioned in our high valued this manual of life called the Bhagavad-Gita. And also it speaks about that whatever happiness actually we get it, and this is the reality. Every one of us, we understand also, if we get a handsome salary today, tomorrow we forget it. So this is temporary actually. These things are temporary. So these two very important things has been told in this particular book. Yes, and it is being scientifically proved. We are trying to see through the eyes of science. And again, you see if there is if so much material achievements and so much of material richness is there, including outer countries in the world, starting from UK or maybe America. So if we compare the suicide rate, this is very alarming. The global average rate is 10.5%, and India, it dominates. It's 16.5%. It is higher than, and recently we have seen, starting from many film industry people, many have younger people, they are committing suicide. So from 14 years to 45 years, we can see in the graph. So this amount is very high, and this graph is well applicable for male, female, every people, right? This is going increasing. It's not on in India itself, this is throughout the world also. Okay, but still there are some people actually who they really get bothered about depression, unhappiness, and there are some people actually who knows the key, and therefore actually they remain happy always, because they remain satisfied. Whatever they are having, whatever they're trying, by these achievements they remain satisfied. So in this session of Decoding Happiness, dear friends, all of you are waiting that what practical things actually we'll be getting from this, so that we can apply as being a student or maybe being a job holder, right? So we'll see the whole presentation, yes, in three themes actually. First, we'll see why actually one becomes unhappy. And second, we'll see what are the practical things by which, by adapting which we can become happy, right? And third, we'll see some clinical studies, some scientific studies that is actually supporting those practical ways how we can become happy. And basically, as I have stated, that I'll be just following the practical things. So it will be based upon scientific studies, research journals, and another one is the manual of life. This is Bhagavad-Gita. Both are correlated. Yes, both are correlated. So whatever thing has been written in Bhagavad-Gita, many of things actually we are able to discover, or maybe we are trying in this way, but there is much more things given in this manual of life. So therefore, we'll just consider these two books. Now, why actually this Bhagavad-Gita is very practical? Actually, being a student, I was also initially was a little bit, thinking about this is some kinds of spiritual things. This just spiritually, you have to leave everything, you have to stop your duties if you start reading the Bhagavad Gita, but this is not the case actually. So we want to focus upon being a student if you want to excel, or being a job holder, my colleague friends, those who have joined. So there are some practical aspects, the very big personalities they have actually applied in their life. And what we found from Bhagavad Gita is, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse in 6.26. It tells about that how we can control the mind. It's a very big disturbing factor, basically from the students, right? So mind is very disturbing factor, and we need to control it. So there is ways mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Also, it says that how to perform our duty very well. Generally, we have the misconception that if you read Bhagavad Gita, it will just tell that you leave your duties. Don't bother about duties. You just keep silently and do something like that. But it's not the thing actually. In Bhagavad Gita 2.47, it is being stated that how you should perform your duties very nicely, right? So that is mentioned, and also how to remain healthy. What kinds of food actually one should take for a longer life, healthy life. So it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 17.8 to 10. Also, there is a mention of very important factor, how to overcome the stress, jealousy, and greed, etc. Right? So it is given again in Bhagavad Gita 12.13 and 14.17. And most importantly, what we are assembled here, what for actually you people have assembled here, that is attaining the perfect happiness. That is also has been mentioned in many of the verses, but one kind of such verse is 6.28. So moving further, actually, many of you might be knowing about this person. Actually, he is a very highly recognized industrialist trainer. Okay, so he basically gives training, the knowledge, practical knowledge that has been incorporated in Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, and what he has to say actually, that success is not changing reality, it is changing the mentality behind the reality. right? So we have to work in that direction. And he tells in the very big crowd where there will be many people, thousands, lakhs of people joining for this training program. So what his basic is, he try to motivate through the knowledge of Bhagavad-Gita, because this is very practical. So he tells that a best motivational book, if any kinds of book is there, it is nothing but the Bhagavad-Gita, right? So again, our national father, Mahatma Gandhi, what he has to tell actually, yes, he told that when doubts haunt me, when disappointment stares me in the face, and I see not one ray of hope on the horizon, I turn to Bhagavad Gita and find a verse to comfort me. So what basically he has to tell actually, he tells that whenever there is any difficulties in life, I just find out a relevant verse. I just find actually it is there. There is many verses relevant to this, and it comforts me. It brings smiles on my face. Again, our honorable prime minister. So as many of the students friends have joined, so this is for you people. What he has to say: if you are a student, head of a state or country, you will get answer to all of your questions in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, it is a topmost manual for human life. There is nothing written like caste, creed, countries, nothing is mentioned in this case. And that is why I also strongly support and also strongly recommend you people to study this book to, you know, control your emotions and many things. So now first we'll see with this basic background, we'll see actually why, what is the reason of becoming unhappy, right? First, if we can detect the problem, why actually we become unhappy, then we can hanker or we can think about the solutions, right? So this is a Hindi background. Those who can read, they can read from the screen, but I'll now concentrate upon the English terms. So first is so listen carefully. This is very important slide, that why actually being a student or maybe being a job holder, we go through some unhappier stages, right? Everywhere there is challenge. So this is first starts with false ego. That means in students also, I have seen many people, they just try to dominate others. They just want that I want to be on top, right? Others let be any position, let have them any positions. I don't bother. I just want these positions, and this is why some controlling kinds of things. I want this. I want this. No one else should actually. But this should not be the approach, right? This should be the approach. I want something, that's fine. But compressing others or competing with others in a negative sense, that creates a negative impression on our mind, right? So when we actually have these kinds of mentalities, and it's been observed in many of the persons, including the students, because it's a competitive world, but we think about this. But as a result, what happens actually, this is called lust. Lust means we actually over expect something. Suppose I have something, but we want more and more. I want more, something more like that. Even though I have something, I may be satisfied with that, but then still I want further more. So there is an interesting, now that interesting thing goes, you can see here that now what the case is, if we cannot fulfill our over expectations, or what is called as lust, then what happens actually, we become angry, right? And from that angry actually, we develop enviousness towards other students and my fellow colleagues. And this is actually the behind the screen, actually it is playing the role of actually remaining unhappy or creating disturbances in our mind. So by actually doing these things, it is not harming others, it is rather just harming ourselves. So this is the negative side, right? This is one side. If a lust is not get fulfilled, so it develops anger. And if our over expectation, suppose we have many expectations, I need this, just these like that, okay? So it gradually develops greed. This is called greed. I want more, even though I do not need. More than need, it is called greed, right? And from that, actually, I develop attachments towards some things. And every time I am just bewildered, or I'm just remaining in an unsteady mind. But this should not be the case with the student friends, right? So we want, every one of us, we want to become happy. So what? So this cycle goes on. if we starts with competing in a controlling nature, and I want more, so this creates a negative balance in our thought process. So what Mahatma Gandhi has to tell again in this aspect, he told that the world has enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. But actually, it is happening. Again, let us see some scientific studies. What it tells about that, if we actually do those things, if we do the negative things, actually, what creates some negativity like anger, negative emotions, what we have seen in previous slide, what negative health hazard actually it is having. So these are again some highly recognized journals published. It first tells about the impact on human body, the anger and its impact on human body, and the finding is that if it continues in a long-term basis, then actually it creates a lot of anxiety, high blood pressure and headache, all those things. And second, there are again another study which tells that in a competitive mode, now if we come under the stressful condition, right, again there are some negative effects. It creates many disorders in our health. Again, some toxic emotions, like we have negative emotion towards our friends, student friends, and maybe some colleagues. It's also actually it generally harms ourselves, not others. Rather harming others, actually it is harming ourselves. So that is why it is very important to first find out that these are the roads actually. And if we can cut those roads, then you are happy. You can do something good, right? So again, it tells that if we have, suppose, and for with the most of the students, it happens that disappointment, frustration, if I don't get something I expected, it creates frustration, judgment, and rejection, fear. What actually how it actually affects our brain. So these negative emotions actually it influences the pituitary gland in our brain, and as a result there are many negative imbalances in our body. And there are, you can see the emotions, how it affects in our different body parts. So anger weakens the liver, grief weakens lungs, work weakens stomach, and stress actually weakens our heart and brain, and fear weakens kidney. But nobody of us actually we want this. There are again some 4 cues. You need to remember these 4 cues and relationship with the happiness. We know about the intelligent quotient, emotional quotient, social quotient, and these two things are actually some psychological terms recently has been added, right? So most of us were knowing about intelligent quotient, how first you can solve some kinds of problems, and emotional quotient, how you have the measuring ability to maintain peace with others. But recently, two things has been found dominating in people. That is called social quotient, actually, which is creating unhappiness. What is that? This is the measure of your ability to build a network of friends. Due to greed and jealousy, day by day, actually, this quotient is becoming dominant. And also the adversity quotient. Recent corona times we have seen. So the measure of your ability to go through a rough patch in life and come out with losing your mind. That is adversity quotient. Now, if we can handle all the questions, then we can become happy. So it now comes the practice of happiness. What we are going to speak here, we have seen previously. What are the reason actually, and the link with the 4 cues and happiness. Now, how to practice happiness? What should we bring in practice so that we can remain happy? Yes. So first of all, I thank you people that you have joined to this very important seminar series, lectures, and consecutively also we'll be having our 3-4 lectures. So first of all, you have to find out the time actually, and you are giving time for yourself. You are giving time to make you happy, right? So by this way, if you devote time through the by applying the practical aspects, then you can become happy, right? But there are some people who are lethargic. They don't want to work out this, but I compliment all the people those who have joined, our student friends, right? So actually you can see from the screen also what actually Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has to say, that nobody is too busy. It's just a matter of priorities. Even though he was in a top position, but he gave priority to the students, right? So he used to meet to the students there in this the same manner. Actually, if we want to become happy, then we also have to find time. Okay, we have to give priorities for this. Now here you have to remember the practical things, 6 aspects you have to remember to remain happy. If you are applying this, then there is at least warranty and even maybe guarantee. If you practice in long term, you can become happy, right? So the 6 things, what are those things? We'll see. First is that you have to find out time for that. What are the aspects and how can you apply those? Second is that you should have resources. So we'll discuss this. Third is you have to have a good health. Fourth, you have to have good relationship with people, right? And the fifth one is, another one is the service. You have to help others. And lastly, another one, to have some discriminative power. What is good, what is bad, right? What in generally we do not bother about. This is called adapting some spiritual interventions in our life. And this is what the key factor behind the every sin, actually, which controls our negative emotions, depressions, everything. So this is the one factor. If you cultivate through relationship, building relationship with good people, then you will remain happy. We'll see that one by one. So first, you have to find out amongst the 6s, you have to find out the time. Second, that you have to have the needful resources. If you are a student, then you have to have some kinds of maybe scholarship, you have to write for some exams, or maybe if you want for some job, then you have to prepare for exams for your daily need, okay? Second is actually, it is, okay, so just a minute. Yes, so these 2 things. Now, third is your health. This is also actually another important aspect. Now, what actually World Health Organization has to tell about health? Yes, we think that by remaining physically fit, it is called health only. No, it is not the case. Actually, to become healthy, to remain healthy means there should be 3 things correlated: physical, social, and mental. So here comes the important point: how to remain mentally happy. So here the this discriminatory power, what we have told about the spiritual things, little intervention of spiritual things, it actually helps. So those who actually are applying those things, they will be definitely, they will be experiencing some kinds of happiness. Okay, just a minute. And next is service. We should not be jealous about others, or we should not be so much of kinds of towards us. Actually, we have to help others also. So this world, if you live this world, okay, so happiness, actually what you do for yourself, okay, dies with you when you leave this world. This is a quote from Sir Ken Robinson. We can check it. And human life is basically meant for serving, for helping others. So if we help others, it's not a loss. Actually, it also gives some kinds of happiness in the background. So now here come actually this discriminative part, what the general people, mass of people, they don't bother about, or maybe the students, as a student, we generally neglect about this. This is something important here. So it is developing spiritual quotient. It is nothing that you have to sit every time you leave your, duties. It's nothing like that. But there is some kinds of minimum kinds of practice kinds of things, what actually will build a balance between the intellectual intelligence, and it will also bring a balance with the emotional intelligence. So by developing that discriminative power, it will actually let us know that what is good for us, what is bad for us, and if in that direction, if we help, actually it will be really beneficial for us, and it will be helpful towards surpassing all kinds of social adversities and other things, right? So Albert Einstein also, he told that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So the thing is that in daily life, what are we are facing actually in our daily life? So the level of problem is there, but beyond this, we have to thought. To come out with the solution, how we can remain happy, right? So here comes this developing this quotient, Yes, so this is what we have told about this discriminatory knowledge or this spiritual quotient. How to develop this? This is very important. So first of all, we have to actually develop relationship with some good people, those who are not jealous about ourselves, those who are not lusty, those who can really help us by thinking that they are actually they will think ourselves as their well-wisher, or they will be our well-wisher, right? So with these kinds of people we have to associate, and then we have to read the practical things that has been given in the manual of life on Bhagavad-Gita. And third, also sometime we have to actually find out for ourselves. This is some kinds of meditation. There are various process, but again, you need not to worry about that. You have to leave your everything and just sit on Himalayas for days. This is not the meditation. There is simplest kinds of things. You can sit even in your room, just giving time for yourself, your peace. Yes, your eternal happiness, your long-term happiness. So these are the aspects actually you have to develop. But for developing these, actually this spiritual quotient, actually you have to build a relationship with some good people, those who have discriminative power. And for that, two things are important. First of all, we have to have respect towards such kinds of people. We have to have gratitude, and also we have to have giving. In terms of giving, maybe it's like kinds of giving our problems, or telling about this, how can I come out from those adversities and all those things. So this helps in this case. So there are again some supporting research topics or research work in that matter, actually. So totally we are speaking about some scientific, these are everything scientific topics, and has been published in some highly recognized papers, journals. So again, there is some studies which tells that there were groups, some kinds of people that don't read this Bhagavad-Gita, the manual of life, and another group, those who studies the Bhagavad-Gita. So it has been checked for the physicians, and also for some semi-urban Indian students, you can see in the National Capital Region. Also, there was some study recently. Also, they have taken some students' feedback. So this is very relevant to every one of you, that by reading this book called this inspirational book, or you can say motivational book, or something discriminatory power, what we keep for our life, through this book, what we can get actually. So this is really very beneficial, not only for others, also for students as well. And there are again, we have spoken about some meditation. So hearing some of sound vibrations, for sitting for few time, few minutes, it also creates a very cool environment in our activity. So this is a medical experiment, clinical study they have done for some this Maha mantra. They have taken the Maha mantra for this study, and they have found that before before going through this meditation process, and after going through the meditation process, what is the activities, brain activities. So if we see, if some people that didn't perform this meditative process, so their brain is restless. You can see from yellow and red marks from here, it is there are some neural activities is going on the brain. But those who have practiced for some time, so what happens, their brain gradually gets cooled down. So it keeps a calming effect, cool effect in your brain. And if we are in any distress condition or whatever is there, so it is very much helpful. We want to share with you a very important study that has been carried out by Harvard University. And they told about, we have seen the 6th point, it was one point, it was someone or creating relationship with good people that will lead us towards happiness. I want to share with you this for another 2 minutes. So I'm just playing this video. It's a 75 years long study, 75 years long, one of the longest study on happiness, what it has to tell actually. So please kindly hear.
Have you ever heard of the Harvard study that ran for 75 years to assess what makes us happy? It's a revolutionary study in psychology. It followed the lives of two groups of men for over 75 years, and it now follows their baby boomer children to understand how childhood experience reaches across decades to affect health and well-being in middle age. So what keeps us happy and healthy as we go through life? If you think it's fame and money, you're not alone. But according to psychiatrist Robert Waldinger, you're mistaken. As the director of a 75-year-old study on adult development, Waldinger has unprecedented access to data on true happiness and satisfaction, and he lays it all bare in this TED Talk.
What keeps us healthy and happy as we go through life? If you were going to invest now in your future best self, where would you put your time and your energy? The clearest message that we get from this 75-year study is this: good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. We've learned three big lessons about relationships. The first is that social connections are really good for us and that loneliness kills. Second big lesson that we learned is that it's not just the number of friends you have, and it's not whether or not you're in a committed relationship, but it's the quality of your close relationships that matters. And the third big lesson that we learn about relationships and our health is that good relationships don't just protect our bodies, they protect our brains.
So, the biggest predictor of your happiness and fulfillment overall in life is basically love. Specifically, the study showed that having someone you can rely upon helps your nervous systems relax, helps your brain stay healthy, and reduces emotional pain. The data also clearly found that those who feel lonely are more likely to see their physical health decline earlier and die younger. It's not just the number of friends you have, and it's not whether or not you're in a committed relationship. It's the quality of your close relationships that matters. It doesn't matter whether you've got a huge group of friends or if you're in the perfect romantic relationship, it's the quality of the relationships that count the most. How much depth and honesty exists within them, the extent to which you can relax and be seen for who you truly are. This is a great reminder to prioritize authentic connection with others, because the data is clear that, in the end, you could have all the money you've ever wanted, but without loving relationships, you won't be happy.
Okay, so this was the one of the longest kinds of research studies. What actually was found from this study, we have already seen in one of our slides, which includes this is making or building relationships. We have seen the 6S. Among these, one of the important aspect is making relationship with people actually who are not jealous about us, who can help us really attaining the real happiness. So this is important. Building relationship, it is one of the most important aspect in our life. Okay, so now we want to conclude our whole presentation. First of all, we have seen what are the basic problems that creates or that actually leads one to remain unhappy. And therefore, we need to learn about how we can remain happy. And the factors, obstructing factors we have seen, this is nothing but it is residing within ourselves itself. This is some kinds of over expectations or anger or pride or enviousness that generates from within, that actually creates a negative effect in our whole body. We have seen these medical examples, clinical studies. So we have to come out from these 6 things, right? We have shown the 6 problems, and then we have shown the 6 A's on which we have to work actually. So these 6 A's, among these 6 A's, one important thing is we have to develop relationship, someone we have seen. So we have to cultivate the selfless relationship with some persons who are in the search of higher happiness. Actually, who knows the practical ways how to remain happy, and who can actually also help us remaining happy. And they have acquired such kinds of knowledge from various sources, and including from the very informative and the very important things given for human life to really remain happy. And it is called the book we have seen, this is Bhagavad-Gita. And lastly, in this particular thing, I want to conclude you that how good relationship matters in your life actually with people, those who are non-NPS, those who can help us, we can see this from practical ground. There was a huge battle. There was a huge war. Actually, we know, most of us, we know this is the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So where two opposite parties actually they joined for fighting. One called the party of Duryodhan, and another one was the party, along with others. He was Arjuna. So, but in Arjuna's case, the participants were less, soldiers were very less compared to Duryodhana's side. But how he could, in this stressful movement, it is a field of war actually. It was a really very big fight that went for 18 days. How he could actually come across the stressful situation, he could fought, and ultimately he won over the battlefield. It was because of that he had a very good relationship, one of his friends called Krishna. So this is a practical application for every one of our life. It is not just written for something to be in books, but it is for everyone of our help, that if we build good relationship, those people who can guide ourselves in our life, then even though there is various kinds of disturbances, whatever is there in our life, we can remain happy. So with this, actually, I want to conclude because I don't want to take much more time from you as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And we'll have some more informative sessions, basically aimed at for students. Yes, next 2-3 sessions. I request you, every one of you, to join for those programs as well. So if you have some queries, or if you want to give some comments, if this session is useful for you, you can. You are welcome. Thank you so much. You can write. You can write. There is some network issues. You can write. You can write, please. We are live from YouTube as well, so you can give a comment there.
Sir, there is one. Sir, there is one student. He wants to ask something. Sir, I am BSc AG student. There is a continuous online classes throughout the day. I am not able to be happy and get time for other things. What should I do?
Dear friend, you are a very excellent student. It seems very good students. So your question is directing toward this. We are having a session, total session meant for this. Yes, how to do time management. I don't want to, express many things in this regard. We have a total session meant for this. So there you will come to know everything about that. Okay. So just wait for 1 or 2 more days, and please join. You invite your other friends as well. This actually, these are real practical issues with students, with everyone's life, right? So because of this, actually our session has been designed in this way. Okay, it is adding value to our life, so it will definitely add to everyone's life. So hope for we see you in our next sessions, and definitely we'll get your answer, right? So thank you so much. If there is any more questions.
Sir, there is one question. Sir, what is the mantra that you recite during mantra meditation?
Okay, very intelligent question. I did not want it. I did not want actually to express this, but this is a clinical study, so I have to express for everyone of your benefit. This is called Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It is very simple. Previously, I was also not practicing, but it helped a lot, in our everyday life. And many people actually throughout the world, lots of people that practice this. This is very simple. This is very simple, but very effective to bring concentration, peace of mind, and also happiness. So this is called Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You can find it and also hear it. Actually, during our training time in Nam, Hyderabad, we were told about such kinds of mantra meditation. So this is not only for the students. Actually, those are joining for some good job. Also, there they're also being given this, this such kinds of training, how to remain steady in mind and peaceful. So this is called Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yes. So you can get many much more audios or videos, and if you are really very happy to participate in these kinds of meditation, there are people who can also guide you. So hopefully you can give a message. I think our coordinators, they can note down to help our friend in this matter. So yes, it's Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It's simple but most effective. Okay, thank you.
One more question is there. Sir, you have told about 75-year-long study and concluded that good association is required for the happiness. So, how to find a good relationship or good association?
Okay, so all are brilliant questions, brilliant students. I cannot just say for the timing, you people. It's again one more brilliant question. Yes, we are here to give you these all facilities. So we are recording you, right? So we have many more sessions to come, and this is totally scientific, right? Whatever is given in the Bhagavad-Gita and all, so they all are scientific, and we have very good, communities who can help you out in this regard, and definitely will help you out. Every one of us wants to become happy, and happiness is not a single term; it's a collective term, right? If everyone remains happy, then society and nation, everyone becomes happy. So we are here to guide you. That is why you have scheduled this program, right? And we'll be in touch with you. Again, I request the organizers, they can make a note, okay, our interested friends, so we can help them out really to achieve happiness. Okay, thank you.
Next question is, money can't give happiness, but it is difficult to be happy without money. Please explain this.
Yes, little bit, tricky, not tricky, but important question. We have seen in the 6S, actually, I have mentioned there how to remain happy. Yes, money alone cannot bring happy. If we think that by having money only, I will become happy, so that will not bring happiness. So what we have seen in one of the slides, the 6 important aspects or 6S, one was samsadhan, right? It was having some kinds of basic necessities. How we will find that? I told also there, for students, you need to prepare for some maybe competitive exams, to go through your scholarships, or maybe for others. So yes, money is important, but it is a supporting one. We should not just think that this money will bring happiness. It's not the everything. So we have to concentrate on 6S, and amongst that 6S, 2 important aspects we told about. The 75-year study also told we need to have good relationship. Even though we are having money, the presentation started with that research studies only, that they have found in the very highly economical countries like America, what they have found, that people are not happy, although they have every kinds of richness, everything is there. The city of Hollywood is residing there. Everything is there, but people are not happy. Why? They're in distress. This is the reason that money alone cannot buy happiness. So this has to be supported by 5 other things. And the 2 important aspects amongst that, without which you cannot become happy, even though you have money, everything. So these are, you have to have a good relationship with people, those who are not jealous, those who will not pull you down, they will just want to help you. Okay, and another one is to read some informative or some practical things that is being given. I have mentioned in one of the slides the very practical things given in Bhagavad-Gita, how to control our mind, how to become peaceful, everything is there. So reading, by taking help those who actually have understood how to apply those practical aspects. So building that relationship, you can become happy. But not just money will bring it, but money is required. Okay, thank you so much.
One question is there that I think struggle is part of life. So you have told that keeping ourselves positive makes us happy. So in the condition of struggle, how to keep positive always?
The whole session was based on this only. We have seen some medical studies, this depression, negative emotions, and we have started with that for student life. There is so many struggles, for exams, getting a job. This is a part of life. This is a part of student life. Yes, you can call it a struggle, but then there are means. That is why this balancing is very much required. Again, I'll supplement with these six as things that in life there will be many things that will just try to pull us down or make us depressed, but there are ways to come out from that. And most important aspect, as I told, if you have very good people, do have those who have discriminative power, right? Those who actually have applied the knowledge from the books like Bhagavad-Gita, which is manual. And we have seen that it has been mentioned by our Honorable Prime Minister and then many other personalities, Mahatma Gandhi and many people, they have referred that this is the solution. Actually, solution is there, but thing is that we are not having maybe this platform, or may not be we are aware about that there is knowledge, even though there is struggle, unsteadiness is mind. So if you can recall back my slide, there are verses relevant to everything in Bhagavad Gita. It has been written, and you just try to build good relationship with well-wishers, those who are very good in nature, those who have applied the teachings from Bhagavad Gita, practical teachings. You can build relationship with them, and you will see wonder happens in life. Okay, thank you so much.
One very good question came. Is there any other book we should read before Bhagavad Gita, or we should start directly reading Bhagavad Gita?
You are a student, so I think we do not have much time, and moreover, we do not have that much knowledge also. If suppose you want to solve a very big equation, a mathematical equation, right? For that, some basic knowledge is required. There are some shortcuts as well through which we can reach out the solution. So it is not necessarily that we have to read. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is a the very concise one, very small but practical book where every solution is given there. So you need not to worry about for the timing. You need not to worry about reading others, because hopefully you are a student, so you might not have that much time to study through many things. And you study through many things also, you may not come out from the conclusion. Yes, how to remain happy and come out from negative emotions, but it is given in that small book. Yes, Bhagavad Gita as it is, one of the slide I have shown, very, very informative, very practical book. You can refer this. Once you study, you will find many, good things out of it. But again, as I told that to solve a very critical question, actually we need help from others. So in that case, those who are expert in this field, we can get you back connected to those people. Yeah, and definitely you will get knowledge, many knowledge. You need not to worry about reading many books. One book will be sufficient for you. Okay, thank you so much.
One more question is there. As you told that we have more and more desire, and we compare it with our happiness, but actually it is not the happiness. So please tell me when any people has less desire to maintain the happiness.
Can the question be repeated? I want to
Yeah.
hear once more what the question exactly means.
Student is asking, sir, please tell me when any people has means when, what is the condition that people has less desire so that he or she can maintain the happiness.
See, less desire and high desire, that is again some quantification is required. What does you really mean by less desire? Actually, desire, I can tell about something optimum kinds of things. What is required actually in that, if you are a student, right? You want to be established in your own field, or the colleagues, friends, if you want to be established in your own field. So in that case, desire, I don't think what exactly you mean by that, but there is nothing like less desire and high desire. If it is required to excel in your field, then you have to do it. So just by desire itself is not that good, but if it is relevant to your studies and maybe your subject matter, you need to prepare for exams and all those things, that okay, I'll secure good marks. So this is not bad. This desire is not bad. And in that case, if you think that I'll score less mark, yeah, so this is also not good. This less desire won't give you good thing. Yes. So better to have something or think something under guidance or under someone's who are actually our well-wisher. They can decide that what to desire and what not to. That will give us real benefit. So under their help and guidance, if we work, that will be sufficient. So by our own, maybe may not be will be able to reach towards our aim or success, or what is good for us really. So we need some guidance, and that is why this relationship is required. Okay, so by having good relationship, we can come to this platform, that what should what we actually want to progress and all those things. So thank you so much.
One student is asking, sir, mention one good online source to start reading Bhagavad-Gita.
Okay, so our people are sitting here. They will give you the source. Yes, there are many people, and we'll have some successive courses regarding that. And definitely we'll take a note of yours, and definitely we'll try to connect you in that online platform. It's a good thing now due to Corona that many of our friends throughout the country, they are joining. And yes, definitely we'll share with you in our next programs to come. Will help you in this regard. So thank you so much. You need not to worry about that. Just we'll have a look and we'll try to reach to you. Okay. Thank you.
One question is coming like, I want to ask, in our lives, there is always two choices on every point of time, like this or that. So how can I console my mind and heart at the same time to choose something which is good for our life, for achieving my goal? Because I'm always stuck between two choices. Either it is emotionally or mentally.
Okay, another good question. And the same question on the last slide we have seen, Arjuna was also having the same kinds of things, what to do, what not to do. But then what was the solution for him? We have seen how he conquered the battlefield. He had a good relationship with a person actually who is knowledgeable, who knows the things. So guidance is required, right? If you are a student, suppose, I'm assuming maybe you are a PhD student, suppose. So while coming, writing your exams, you took help from some of your seniors and maybe from your teachers, right? By yourself own, it is not possible to handle those situations or kinds of thing. How should you proceed? So for that, guidance is required. And we also had the same thing. We also went through these kinds of guidance. That is why actually we could able to reach wherever we are, or still we are being guided by such kinds of people. Those who are very intelligent, yes, and they're guiding whenever we get in terms of what should I do, what should not I do. So if we refer back those people, definitely will come out. So just one thing again, I'll repeat. I think for 3-4 students, I'll answer the same. It's the association, it's the relationship, the Harpa study, it matters. And what is being told in Bhagavad-Gita, one of the slokas, 6th chapter, I have mentioned. So this is what the relationship will matter. So you build relationship. Let us make a good relationship network, yeah, where we can have a good study in this subject matter. Yes, practical things from Bhagavad Gita and how we can apply this under some of the superior guidance, some people, those who are expert in this. So definitely we'll be able to overcome those confusions and dualities. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. As we are already out of time, so I will wind up the session right now. So thank you so much, sir, for giving such a great and different insight of the happiness. You showed and guided us how to follow the path of happiness, and the answer you given to several queries was also awesome. It was really an amazing talk. Yeah, and the reflection is can be shown in the chat box. Everyone is appreciating your talk. So I'll as this is a virtual talk going on via Zoom, so I request all of you to give a big round of applause virtually. Also, I request one more round of applause for our sincere and patient audience who remained with us till now. Thank you so much.
One thing before concluding, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the senior members and this hardworking committee members, those who have made this program success and connecting our student friends and trying to give them some real benefits. So I am very much thankful to all of them and all of you student friends. Thank you so much. Hope to see you once again. And in our every sessions, in our every future sessions to come, that will really give you benefit. Yes, so thank you so much.
One announcement I want to make. Tomorrow, our second session will be going on at the same time. So I expect you all joining tomorrow also. Tomorrow we are going to come with the topic powers of habits. What are the power of our different habits? So it will be also a very interesting session. So please join tomorrow, and at the same time, we will be waiting for you. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you all.